In this problem, we are trying to identify the congruent parts of congruent triangles. And congruent, remember, means that they're the same shape and size. So when we say that one triangle is congruent to another triangle, they're really the same triangle. They have all the same angle measures, all the same side lengths. But as you can see in this figure, they may not be in the same orientation. So sometimes it can be a little tricky to figure out which side matches with which side and which angle matches with which angle. Luckily, mathematicians have come up with a system to mark those things. So you can see the angles here. Angle B has one little arc, A has two arcs, C has three arcs, and you'll see the same pattern over here for Z, Y, and X. What that means is B is congruent to Z. So the one arc is a mark that shows that those two angles are the same, and A is congruent to Y, and C is congruent to X. So let's see, we can go ahead and fill that in here. We said A, that's got the two arcs, was congruent to Y. So angle A congruent to angle Y. B, that was the one arc, so that's congruent to Z. And C is congruent to angle X then. And they do the same thing with sides except with these little hash marks. So you've got a side with one hash mark, two hash marks, three hash marks. So this side, AC, is going to be congruent to XY. Let's see, that would be this one, XY. And let's see, we're looking for AB. So AB has three hash marks. That's congruent to YZ. And side BC has two hash marks, so that is XZ. And then finally down here it says triangle ACB is congruent to triangle. And you have to be careful here. You do not want to just put these letters in any old order. The order of these letters will show how the triangle is congruent. So you want, if A appears first here, you want the angle that's congruent to A to appear first. Well, A is the one with two hash marks, so Y would show up. And then let's see, C is the one with three hash marks, so we get X next. And B is congruent to Z, so Z would be next. So triangle ACB is congruent to triangle YXZ. So that is a little bit of work with the congruent parts of congruent triangles.